episode 11, Alternative Facts Chicago. What up, B?
What's up, man? How you doing?
I'm feeling great. We're on episode 11. We're ready to get things going. We have a lot of things to talk about,
man,
tonight.
I felt like these last 2 weeks, some 2 weeks go by and it's kind of busy, but these past 2 weeks in regards to the news cycle, just from our city to all across nationally, it's just been insane. So we have a ton to talk about. I'm pretty hyped for this episode.
Yeah, me too. I think this episode will go down as being our best one yet.
You think so?
Yeah, we're always going to top ourselves every other episode.
Putting a lot of pressure on us, but I think we can handle it.
Oh, for sure, absolutely.
Well, first thing we got to get into is, for the second time, we actually have posted this on our social media, on SoundCloud, iTunes as well, Alternative Facts Chicago, our NBC Sports Radio interview. It was the second edition with Dave the Sports Guide, and I think it was even better than the first one. We talked a lot about Conor McGregor, the Floyd Mayweather fight, talk about Chicago sports, the Cubs as well. So make sure you check it out. I think it was a great interview. Shouts out Dave the Sports Guide. You can check it out on SoundCloud as well as iTunes. What did you think of that, B?
No, it was great. He was clowning. Dave is always just fun to chop it up with, so I can't wait to be on there again. And on top of that, whenever we go out to LA.
Oh yeah, we got to go see him.
Yeah, we're going to be in the studio there. So NBC Sports, we're coming.
They're gonna get ready for the bag for us.
Oh man, get that bag.
That bag ready.
The NBC bag.
Yeah, it was a good time though. Shouts out to them. I'm already ready for the next time. We need to be regulars on that one.
No, absolutely. I can't wait. And then also, we have a very big announcement to make. We'll be having Nate Duhon from Married at First Sight on episode 12. That's huge.
It's huge, man.
Yeah, we've been following the show for a bit, and Nate and his wife Sheila, they've been one of our favorites throughout the whole season. So I'm excited to just really kind of talk about it, get his whole perspective on it, and clown Cody a little bit. So
you've been waiting for that.
Yeah. So it should be really fun. I'm really excited.
Yeah, that's gonna be a dope episode. It's a good look for us, a big look for us. Like you said, we've both been fans of Nate Duhon. So coming up, episode 12 it is. So that's
episode
Wednesday.
12.
Yep, we'll be recording on Wednesday, August 9th. So that's a big for us, and we love that show, don't you?
Yeah, no, absolutely. And the series finale or season finale of the show is on Thursday night, which is tomorrow or tonight if you're listening to this on Thursday. So make sure to check that out. That's on Lifetime, and it comes on at, I believe, 10 our time. 10 Central.
Yeah, you gonna watch that?
Oh, of course.
Yeah.
I'm too invested right now. So
you are all into it. You're into it more than me.
Yeah, no, I am absolutely, and I hope they all make it. But if they don't, it's gonna be sad. But I really do hope they all make it. But I don't think Cody and Danielle have a chance.
Yeah, I think it's gonna be 2 out of 3 will make it.
Yeah.
I think Anthony will make it for sure.
Oh, Anthony, yeah.
Yeah, definitely. Sorry, man. It just may not work out. What's his name, Cody?
Cody, yeah.
Yeah, it's all good. But appreciate that. And big news for those who are on social media right now. Last week we tried to do it on Facebook Live, and it was pretty decent. We had a couple glitches. But today we actually have our episode right now on Instagram Live. So make sure you tune in over there. What else you got to say about that?
Yeah. Mystery Streets Recording.
Oh, yeah.
They're the best. So we're here now. So we love the studio, and we love working with our guy Dan back there. So shout out to Dan.
And the quality is always good. Yeah, this is pretty awesome. So Instagram Live, make sure you tune in. We're probably going to make this a regular thing going forward. So make sure you tune in. You can get our live perspective and all the mess ups that we do have. Because it does happen, from time to time.
Absolutely. Yeah, let's go pay some bills right now.
Oh, yeah. So this portion of the podcast is sponsored by FireJeffSessions.com. Anybody that supports medical cannabis, please visit FireJeffSessions.com and buy a t-shirt where the proceeds go towards getting our Attorney General who hates cannabis out of office. Remember, that's FireJeffSessions.com.
It seems that might actually happen. But we'll talk about that a little bit later.
Talk about alternative facts, man. And did we start something brewing on this show?
Yeah, probably.
Yeah.
That's what we do. We're trendsetters.
Exactly.
All right.
We're definitely taking the credit if this happens.
All right, cool. So let's get into a little bit of Chicago sports. So the Cubs. When we were on the Dave Smith show a couple weeks back. This was our first time, and we doubted them.
Man. We should have got common league.
Yeah, we absolutely. We got to eat. We do have to eat crow, and now they're making a comeback. So B, what is your thoughts on that?
Man, it was funny. It was like the day after we had that interview, and they had the All-Star break, and they came back and they just started winning and winning. maybe they heard that interview or something like that and realized we were some clowns for predicting that they would be done. I'll go on record and say, man, we screwed up, and I apologize for that. Man, the Cubs are killing it right now.
We put the batter in the back.
We did, yeah. They got pissed off. It was it more like locker room talk? But yeah, yeah, exactly. But yeah, so the Cubs are doing well. They made a couple trades. I think they kind of got their mojo back. And I realized even going into the All-Star break, they weren't even down by like that much. Maybe what, 3.5 or 4.5 games out. Easy to come around like that in the middle of season in baseball. The Cubs do have the talent to do it. It seemed like they just had a little bit of a shift. And don't they have like the Crosstown Classic right now with the White Sox?
Yeah, and I believe they split the series with them at Wrigley.
I think so.
So, yeah, that was pretty cool. It's just good to see like everyone out in their White Sox Cubs jerseys. You know, like people are not going into work.
Yeah, a lot of people.
I'm like, what do you guys do for a living? Because I know I can't get off like that just to be going off and watching the game. So
yeah, and I was a little under the weather this week, so I was at home on Tuesday.
Yeah,
and I remember I walked down the street, and man, it was so many people in his Cubs and White Sox outfits. It was like 1 o'clock. I'm like, man, don't you people at work? Like it's pretty crazy to see.
Yeah, no, it was absolutely nuts. So. No, it'll be interesting to see, and I think they're going back to they're playing that guaranteed rate field.
Yeah,
like I hate that new name now, but I like Sigler Field better.
That's one of my clients for work, so you gotta back off.
All right.
Yeah. But unfortunately, White Sox really aren't that good this season. So on our end, it takes a little bit of the luster out of the Crosstown Classic. Either way, the Cubs, man, they're really doing it right now. And what's up with Rahm Emanuel denying the Chicago Cubs? I guess they've try to, get something where they can have more night games.
Yeah. Rahm is...
And he turned it down.
Yeah, Rahm is, like, weird. Like, I think
what's wrong with him?
I don't know, man. He's just going through a power trip. Like, he's honestly... Like, he's on his Trump right now.
Yeah, something's going on with him. Like, he's just denying things left and right.
Just alternative facts. So, it's... Like, with Rahm, it's the same type of norm, which isn't really a norm. And I think that, the fans, and they... Like, not everyone can get off at 1:15 to go watch a game. So I think that, the fans deserve to be able to have a chance to watch the Cubbies play. So please give us more night games. Yeah. I like, honestly, if the Cubs fans can pick between going to 15 concerts in the Cubs game.
Yeah, come on, I would pick the Cubs game.
Yeah.
And they said whatever package they could have or something like that, they're only like 9 games off already of what the 56 allotted could be. And I'm like, man, they need more night games. I know I don't have the time to just go to Cubs games like that all the time during the middle of the day, and they're always during the middle of the day.
Yeah,
so
pass.
Yeah, and I mean they're fun the days that you can't go, but the fact that he just blatantly said no is like, this is what you wanted and all this.
It's weird.
Yeah, it's weird. It seems like he doesn't really get along with a lot of some upper management for the Cubs. It sounds like Wrigley Field or something like that.
Think about it. The Ricketts, or at least like Tom Ricketts or whatever his name is, he is a big Trump supporter. He's a Republican, so maybe there's politics in play there too.
Yeah.
So you just never know.
So we're gonna have to take the brunt of the punishment for that.
Yeah, absolutely. I guess so. So we'll see. But I have a feeling that he's gonna end up giving up.
He better, man. Night games at Wrigley Field are pretty dope, especially with everything that they put up the past couple of years.
It's legendary.
Oh yeah, it's good times in the summer.
Absolutely. And a fun fact before we move on. July, there's been the highest number of births, and they attributed that to a lot of babies being a lot of people having babies and around the Cubs' victory. So isn't that kind of funny? That
would make sense, especially for the Cubs never winning. How many couples are probably like, oh, if the Cubs win, we're gonna make a baby, or something stupid like that, and bam, here we are today.
July has had the highest rates in a long time in Chicago.
I saw that the other day too.
It's funny.
That's crazy.
All right, so let's talk about the NBA a little bit. Just to shift some gears. So Kyrie, he wants out of Cleveland. And D Rose just signed a 1-year, $2.5 million contract with Cleveland. What's going on?
Sounds like Kyrie's on his Kobe Bryant mode, and he just wants out of there. He wants a fresh start. And when they say that Kobe Bryant, is his mentor all the time, and I'm sure, in the summertime or whatever, he's talking in his ear saying, hey, you want to have your own team. That's what Kobe did with Shaq, and it ended up being, either him or Shaq. It seems like kind of he's gotten his ear, and I don't blame Kyrie. I mean, people say that, before they had LeBron James back in the team, they weren't that good. You got to remember that Kyrie was like 19, 20, 21 years old. He was just a little kid. So I think now he's got a championship under his belt. He's been in the playoffs. He's been in the finals a bunch of times. he averaged like 25, 26 points a game. I think he can do it, and I think I don't blame him for it, especially when LeBron James isn't committed, and they already tried to make more trades like Paul George and Jimmy Butler for him too, and it all kind of backfired. It's like, what's my worth here? So more power to him, man. He's out of there.
Yeah, honestly, I think Kyrie's bugging, and I'm gonna tell you why. You won nothing before LeBron came back to Cleveland. Like, you were a perennial loser, right? You know, like, I think they had, after he was drafted, they had like the number 1 pick twice after that. I think they got Anthony Bennett, Andre Wiggins, and yeah, so, you know, those are the players. So without LeBron, you're going to be a perennial. Before LeBron, you were a perennial loser, and now, you know, you've been to 2 championships back to back, right?
1-1.
Yeah, and you're 1-1, and you know you've been able to smother playoffs, you know, more than you ever have in your career. So it's just like, why would you change that? And then even then, you know, I think Kobe spoke about that. He said that he regretted kind of breaking up like the Lakers back in the day, because they could have won a couple more ships if they didn't break up that ship. So I think that I just think Kyrie's making a crazy decision. He's letting people get into his ear. He's an offensive juggernaut. There's no doubt about that. But at the end of the day, you can't build a team around him just because he always gets injured.
You don't know that, though. And people are saying, like, you know, 3-4 years ago when LeBron first got there, he was a little kid. So, yeah, of course, he didn't know how to win in the NBA. Now that he's got, you know, that time under his belt, that experience under his belt, now he feels, I don't need LeBron anymore. I can do this on my own. Give me a shot. And who knows who to say that he can't do it. He's only 25 right now. Yeah, and he's gotten better.
All right, but he gets injured a lot, and I don't think he can play. I mean, can he play a full 82-game season? Like,
I mean, do you need him to? I mean, let him. If he plays 70 games in the season, and he can play for the playoffs, I'm cool with that.
Yeah, I think no matter what, he basically wants to go to a losing franchise. So I think, you know, with that being said, him going to a losing franchise, he's going to put up the numbers. He's going to make it to the All-Star games, but we all know that he's not a true point guard, so it's not like he can really run a team like that. You know,
we don't know that.
He's a score-first point guard.
I think, under the assumption of playing, you know, with LeBron James and who he plays with, that's his role on that team.
That was his role before.
It could change, though. Maybe he wants a team to where he can be more Chris Paul-like or Russell Westbrook-like, to where he can just get a ton of assists too while scoring points as well. Now he's just scoring a lot of points, and LeBron's getting the assists. I think he wants that time to shine. And let him go. We saw someone on our Instagram Live, and I see the person who had said, mentioned that Derrick Rose should have went to the Lakers. I'm like, why would he do that? He's going to definitely play behind ball. They're not going to win. And Derrick Rose made a good point. He's like, I'm going to go somewhere where I can win and be with the same-minded people. I didn't want to go to a bad team. So he picked the right team.
This situation, like for me, I think Cleveland was a second. It would have been my second choice if I was D-Rose. I think he had a better situation if he would have went to Milwaukee. Because, like, I think Malcolm Brogdon, even though he won Rookie of the Year, I mean, he's not like a point guard who's going to take you, like, you know, to a championship or Eastern Conference Finals. I think Derrick fit better in with that system. But, you know, playing against, like, alongside LBJ, I mean, you can't go wrong. So I think this is going to be good for his career. Yeah. And if he can stay healthy, and if he put up the, you know, I think he put up 16 a game when he was playing with the Knicks when healthy, and, like, you know, 4 or 5 assists. If he does that this season and stays healthy, I think that he's going to get that bag again, and he'll be in for a big contract. So he's playing for an extension or another big contract with another team.
I predict he's going to play very well for like half the season, and unfortunately he's going to get hurt. He's going to be out with the season and the injury. Like, he won't even get to like play the playoffs and like see it through. Like, he's going to play very good, like not D-Rose level, but just, you know, very comparable as like a starter 6-man, depending what happens to Kyrie. And bam, he's going down.
Man,
his dream is over.
And you got to stop trying my boy.
If that happens
like
again.
That. Man, you got to stop trying my guy.
No, I love him, man.
Put some respect on D-Rose's name. That boy can ball.
No, he can when he's healthy. I appreciate that. But can he stay on the court?
We'll see.
I hope so. He did decent. You were trying to say like he sucked.
No.
He did decent last year in New York.
No, yeah, he just can't shoot a three-pointer, which Cleveland is. You know, if they lose Kyrie, they're going to lack shooting, but he can still be an effective guard, and if he's any bit as explosive as he was with the Bulls, we'll see. He might be on to something. He's an former MVP.
We'll see.
All right. Good stuff. And then also, so let's go into like the next subject here. We had very like sad news. The lead singer for Linkin Park, he passed away. and was it Chad?
Chester Bennington.
Oh yeah, Chester Bennington. Yeah, I don't know why I got Chad from. My bad. But hey, I don't listen to like rock like that. So forgive me. But
close enough.
Yeah, close enough. Yeah, but yeah, he passed away, and I mean, I think he hung himself.
Yeah, he did.
That's pretty sad.
Himself.
Like what happened?
I don't know. I guess he just. I'm not sure what specifically happened, but I was reading this article a little bit early, and I guess like one of the maids or housekeeper had saw him, like someone else had found him as well too. Like the housekeeper found him, and a driver was coming like pick him up or something like that. But obviously he was like screaming out of the car. The crazy part is, obviously he's had a lot of issues with like drugs and addiction, but it said he didn't have like any drugs in the system when he hanged himself. So you just never know what's going on in the mind of a singer or an entertainer. Like what goes on in their head every single day. Yeah. It's crazy.
Well, I mean, mental illness, I don't know much about it, and and obviously, I don't suffer for it, and I don't know anyone that suffers from it, but it's one of those things that we've lost a lot of legends. Robin Williams.
Yeah.
For one, I saw Aladdin last night, and I was like, man, I miss Robin. I wish he was the genie.
You're a little getting emotional over there.
Yeah. I was like, man, I wish he was the genie again. But
yeah,
I know, and it's one of those things where, like, it's very serious. And I mean, people, if you're having any issues, please talk to someone, because it's such a complex problem. And I know a lot of people were slandering him on Twitter.
Twitter is just ridiculous.
Yeah. And it's just like, like a lot of like the very conservative Christian folks saying, you're going to hell with you, hang yourself, etc. And a life was lost, and regardless of how it happened, we still have to like pay our respects, and it's just sad. And I hope anyone who's going through any issues right now, please go talk to someone, get that help, and just know that people are there for you. Like you're not by yourself. So it's a sad situation.
Definitely. I don't want to talk about this too long, but Linkin Park is an all-time great group. I mean, when we were growing up as kids, song with Jay-Z.
That's a classic.
A couple other songs that they had always. So it was very sad to see that, and it just happened out of nowhere. I know they're about to go on tour as well too. So I was pretty bummed. I know they're coming to Chicago. My guy MGK was opening for him, so that's canceled. So it kind of sucks, but rest in peace.
Rest in peace.
And hope for the best, with their family. I'm kind of curious, like, what happens with the group now? Like, do they move on from this? Like, how do you continue when that's the lead singer?
I mean, we've seen in the past where that's happened in the lead singer. They try to find another guy, but I think for Linkin Park, they should probably just hang it up.
Think so?
Yeah, it's either that or like I don't know if they could somehow look into like a hologram.
Maybe, maybe.
You know how they like did like Tupac, Pac and stuff. It's just, and this is like down the line. Not even saying that they do this now, but this is like 5 years down the line.
They may have the technology.
Yeah, they might have the technology, but it's just like you just can't replace a guy like that.
Yeah.
So
and they're about to lose a lot of bread from not going on this tour.
Yeah, that's true.
Yeah, that's a lot. But back to the tomfoolery. What's up with our guy Justin Bieber?
Yeah, so I think he was going on tour with John Mayer. Or something of that nature,
like that.
Yeah. So and I saw that Mayer was happy that he left the tour, but yeah. So it says that he canceled the tour because he was rededicating himself to the life of Christ. Man, what's going on with folks in Hollywood?
I saw that the headline. I didn't even read it. I just started like busting out laughing.
No, yeah. So like what's going on with Biebs? Is the LA life? Is it too much for him? Can he not handle the pressure? I feel like a lot of people yay. Just for example, like you go out to like Los Angeles, you're so big, the paparazzi's always following you. Every move you make is scrutinized. Like, do you just go insane?
I guess so. I think just a lifestyle. He's like I won't say like modern day Michael Jackson, which is like his overall presence, but just in terms of like pure like rock star status, I'm sure like wherever he goes, it's just like a mob of people everywhere. And I read something out, it made me laugh. They said that he's like banned from China or something like that. Like, why is he banned from China?
Hey, he's Bieber Belly for a reason.
This is getting banned from how do you get banned from entire countries? That's the only something Bieber Belly would do.
Yeah, he's missing out on big checks.
He made somebody mad and like, you can't come back to this whole country.
he's on his Chris Brown right now.
Yeah, man, this guy just straight losing it. So maybe it's like his own little mental rehab or something like that.
Yeah, and Biebs, if you're out there, like I said, there's nothing wrong if you're religious and you want to rededicate yourself, but like just don't try to don't make a mockery of it if you are actually doing that, and just take some time off, just relax. and then just lay low and then just come back with some fire music and all will be forgotten.
Yeah, he probably just needs a break. He's been going so many years now without a break. It's probably just, getting to your head. He just needs to take a break.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
That's it. Take a chill pill, Biebs.
Hey, Biebs is the man, though.
Yeah, that's my guy.
That's the guy.
All right. And then also in terms of like...
You might slander that, though.
Oh, people will, but who cares?
Of course, right? Always.
Team Bieber. Also, Meek Mill and French Montana, they both dropped albums back-to-back weeks. I know you had a chance to listen to both Meek and French. What were your initial thoughts?
Both albums were very good to really good. I say for French Montana, like a lot of his past projects have been kind of trash. He would even admit to that. Most of them were pretty trash. And I like French Montana, don't get me wrong. But this album overall was definitely like his overall project. It seemed like he found his sound in this album. This is the type of beats that he had, the collabs that he had, him doing a lot of the auto-tune. It's not like the most amazing album ever, but for what he can do and what he's worth, I think it was a well put together album. I thought he did a good job. What do you think about that?
Yeah. French album was dope. Like I was highly surprised. Like he had a lot of good jams in there. I like the joint with The Weeknd and Future.
Of course, you like the one with Future.
Yeah, and those are some really strong tracks. And like even the tracks by himself weren't even that bad. I was kind of surprised. I still think that he's still a singles rapper, and that isn't a bad thing. Like I think him hopping on a hook for another rappers or like a pop band. I think that's his lane. Honestly, I don't think he needs to drop any more albums, and he can just hop on hooks all day. I'm sorry. Yeah.
I think he kind of proved himself with this album that he can stay in the game for a long time.
Yeah.
So
he's not going anywhere.
No, absolutely not.
But think about it. Stay Scheming, one of his biggest hits. I've only heard his verse once. And then with the Sway Lee joint, man, you got people out on Twitter tweeting out the song without French's part. It's not even French's song no more. It's Sway Lee's song.
I mean, how many times when you're out at the club do you hear French's part on the song?
No, never.
Like when you're at the club, they're always playing the chorus. It's just Sway Lee.
Most of French hits, and I might get killed by people who bring up all his mixtapes and all that stuff. Most of his hits has not been his tracks. It's been his tracks, but not really his track. So someone else has outshined him on it. So French, shout out to French. I think you're a great artist, but don't drop another album. Just do singles.
Yeah, it was a dope album though.
Yeah, and then also we had Meek.
That's your boy now. Before I gotta get you, I remember about 3-4 years ago, this dude used to say how terrible and how trash Meek Mill was. Now they're getting texts from this guy like 6 a.m. asking if you listen to the Meek Mill album. It's so funny how things have changed in a couple years.
Hey, Meek, he proved me wrong. He's shown a lot of growth because I feel like in his earlier stuff, he was just yelling my ears off. And I feel like he's still yelling now, but it's not as bad. So, and his album was actually Wins and Losses was really dope. It showed a lot of growth. It was very introspective. He spoke on a lot of, personal stuff that's going on in his life. I think he's with the whole Drake beat thing, he's definitely changed, and I think he has a good team around him, and hopefully he's not going to be going on any Twitter finger type of rants in the near future, and he just need to focus on like he said in his interviews, it's all about longevity. You don't have to sell 400, 500, 600,000 like Drake like Kendrick Lamar. He just needs to be consistent, and then over time he's going to have a place in the game as being one of the greats.
Oh yeah, he needed that album, and you can tell it was more like controlled craziness. Before he'd just be rapping all loud and out of control, and it'd be dope. But now you can tell it's with the purpose, with the motivation. And a couple of interviews that I saw that he did, he said the last couple years when he was wilding out on Twitter and with the whole Drake thing,
he was
on pills and on lean and all that. And I was like, man, that makes total sense because Meek was wilding for a couple of years. So, and at least he can admit it now. He's looking back now. He seems more mature about it. So I've always said he's going to have a place in this game, and it's good to see that it's actually happening. People a couple years ago, even you thought he was done. You're like Meek's finished.
Yeah, I
thought he wasn't.
I thought he was done, man. I thought he was in the coffin, and then he just came back up like the Undertaker. So
you gotta have faith, man.
Yeah, you gotta have faith in Meek, and
that's how life goes.
Exactly, and also another cool thing about it, he was kind of crooning on the album. So I felt like Briss Breezy gave him some vocal lessons. Yeah,
he was singing a little bit. It had me laughing.
Hey, but that's the growth you like to see, something different from your artist. Whether it's hip hop, pop, EDM, you love to see growth in these artists. So I think it's it's cool that he went that route, and I think this is his best album yet.
Definitely. I would say as one of his mixtapes was better, but as an overall album project, it was the most mature. I think it was his best one.
Mixtape, albums, playlists, they're all the same thing.
Dream Chaser's still the best. Number one. Always. It's one of his mixtapes. You don't know nothing about that. That was back when you were a Meek hater, so you probably don't like, what is Dream Chasers? Well, cool, man, but that's time to pay some more bills. I got Chris. We might have to get him on the show eventually.
Yeah.
Chris is a good dude. But this segment of the show is brought to you by Seabreeze Building Services, managing and maintaining over 15 homeowner associations across the Chicagoland area. If you live in an HOA and looking for a new manager or a renovation company, go check them out at seabreezebuildings.com. We always provide a link below in the description. So we always post it on the descriptions. You see it on SoundCloud and iTunes as well. It's just a link that you can click for it.
Yeah.
FireJeffSessions.com and seabreezebuildingservices.com.
Yeah, if you reach out to Chris, just tell him that Alternative Facts Chicago sent you.
Oh yeah, well, you might get a little discount on it.
Exactly.
But now, so we figured, and we do this quite a bit, but we do talk about Chicago segments and Chicago topics a lot. But I feel like a lot of times we may veer off a little bit. So we're gonna always, every single episode, make sure we dedicate quite a bit of time to the city and just let the people know what's going on. And we're gonna call this the Everything Chicago segment. And don't forget that 50% of our sponsorship dollars goes to Chicago Public Schools. We love the city. So what's the first one we're gonna talk about, D? Chicago's been wilding out lately.
Yeah. So and I'll let you kind of go in a little bit detail because I don't want to butcher the story, but I think that there's been an incident with. So I don't want to laugh, but it just seems ridiculous. But Chicago Lyft driver kidnaps girl, and then the whole everything going on with Uber and people getting stabbed with machetes and all that. What's going on in the shop?
So remember that one time we went to that event with the Black and Nova, and the guy in the Lyft or the Uber that we were in, he had a camera up front. Remember that?
Yeah.
Yes, because he even knows, man, and it was from the time when that girl got ransacked, that killed that person with that machete. So it's crazy. So I think I was like sitting one day and just kind of browsing upon this article in Chicago. Some guy named Angelo McCoy, who was a Lyft driver, ended up like kidnapping and like sexually assaulting and like tying this woman who like called. What? Yeah,
what happened?
Yeah, it's not funny.
No, it's not funny at all.
It shouldn't be laughing. This is pretty crazy. But I guess she like called a Lyft around like 11 o'clock. Out with her friends. I guess she was just too drunk, which is always a bad thing. Girls never go home with an Uber late at night by yourself. Like, it's just not smart. Public service announcement. If you don't remember anything in this episode, stop going to Ubers.
Travel in twos,
yes,
please.
Always. Something. But anyway, this guy, his name's Angelo McCoy, I guess tied her up, like kidnapped her. I guess she like fell asleep. So he tied her up and I guess tried to take her around, like raped her. And it was like 2 hours of time. And, she ended up eventually like getting away or whatnot. So he ended up getting caught, of course, because they, just identified his Lyft. But this is some fact, like, why? It's just getting crazier. I think, like, why are you just letting anybody be a Lyft driver? I feel like I take Lyft sometimes, and I'm like, man, like, who are some of these people that they allow to drive Lyfts? And clearly it's showing, and especially in Chicago.
Yeah, no, there's a bunch of weirdos out there, especially like Lyft and Uber, and all they do is talk your ear off. And for me, I just keep to myself. I put my headphones on, and that's probably why my rating is like at a 4.7. But no, it's a bunch of weirdos, and I think that they need to do better background checking. Something, because it's ridiculous that you have to walk into a cab and kind of not fear for your life, but in the back of your mind you always got to think something can go down. So anytime I'm hopping in Lyft or Uber, especially if it's nighttime, I'm always ready to square up because you just never know, right? Like you just really never know. And like and it's just like you might be in the Uber or Lyft with a slasher. So
this guy, he be living life on the edge.
Hey, I love Chicago,
don't
but
run up on Bobby.
Hey, I love Chicago, but at certain times at night you got to keep your head on the swivel. We've been saying that
definitely
for years.
At night. Yeah.
So I just think that they need to do a better job of their background checking the companies. And they really need to vet people out. And I know they're probably, from a business standpoint, they need as much help as they get. Like, they need as many drivers because the more drivers, like, right, the less expensive it is due to the demand. But at the same time, I think safety, it's always greater than just the money behind it. So
definitely
they got to do a better job, man, vetting people out.
And these girls got to stop going to sleep in Ubers and Lyfts. So I guess she fell asleep, and when she woke up, she realized she wasn't on like the correct route home. And as soon as she woke, I guess she like tried to exit the car or something like that and couldn't, and ended up way past her play. I guess eventually she got out of the car. This is just kind of what I'm scrolling and reading.
Yeah.
Man, it's just like anything like that can happen anytime. Girls, travel in twos, please.
Yeah, man, that's insane. And then like in another Chicago news story here, city massive stolen phone black market. I know Rahm Emanuel, he's looking to crack down on the very lucrative cell phone stolen market out there. So essentially, I know that there's been, since I think in 2016 there are over 15,000 cell phones reported lost or stolen in Chicago. And I think there's been like a law or something or a measure put in place, because there's this old woman who was thrown off of the CTA back in 2011,
right? Because
of the fact that the thief wanted her smartphone, didn't give it, and she was fighting threw her off and killed her. So Rahm is definitely cracking down on this, and who knows what's going to happen, but he's just trying to remove the profit for motive behind it, which I think is really good. And I mean, when you're in Chicago, everybody's on their phone. When you're on the train, it's kind of like you're a robot.
Yeah,
you're out there, you're on the train, and you're just scrolling, listening to music.
Every single person is though.
Every single person. So like, and I've seen this happen too. A couple years back, I was on the Blue Line, and it was like this girl and this guy, and she was just on her phone. These 5-6 goons came through, and they literally just hopped on one stop. And then I saw them getting ready to hop off another stop, and then I was just like, that's kind of odd. Who does that, right?
Right.
In big groups. So then all of a sudden, as they were walking out, they just yanked all their cell phones and ran up out of there. And ever since then, on the train, I'm never on my phone. If I'm listening to music, I got it in my pocket. So I think it's cool. And with Lollapalooza coming up, and with all the festivals going on, a lot of people are going to get their phones stolen. I remember you talked about this at...
Where were we at? Oh, Coachella. Man, so a couple people we were with got their phones stolen.
Yeah.
Some people, they come in like it's a sport. Like, how many phones can we get this weekend?
No, it's large groups of people. That's all they do is pinpoint drunk people and take their phones. So it's cool. Rahm is trying to crack down on it. The coolest thing he's actually doing right now. And I hope it helps.
I hope it'll work, though.
We'll see.
Yeah, we'll see. Man, I would say last Saturday in Chicago, it was a good day.
It was hot.
It was like real hot that day. That was a fun day. It's actually been a good summer, and I've actually stayed in Chicago quite a bit this summer, just enjoying my time. This has been a beautiful city in the summertime. So, what have you been doing lately? I know you've been a little busy.
Yeah, so I think last week was actually the first time that I actually had a chance to really like go out and enjoy myself in the summer of Chicago, because I've been traveling all over the place the last month and a half, and I went to the Taste of River North. That was really cool. It was like a good time. It was super hot, but they had like the live music. They had all like the local food places, and over in River North, shout out to the Lobster. That place is fire. Hefe was out there. I'm trying to get that sponsorship back, and it was just like good vibes. Like people were out. Like it was just good times. And then I went to the Michigan Avenue Art Festival.
Okay.
And it was cool just to see a lot of like local artists and a lot of the art they had displayed. I picked up a couple pieces for all the white walls I have in my condo.
Okay.
So that was really cool. So it was like a dope time. Like last week, it was just all chill, not windy.
Oh yeah.
It's humid, but perfect weather.
It's been a dope summer.
Yeah.
Last weekend we were out at the Riverwalk.
Oh yeah, how was that?
River. That's the first time I ever actually got to be there on a weekend day, and man, it was popping. There was a lot of people there.
Yeah.
It was hot, but it was a good time when our boy Jody went to going away parties. But yeah, the vibes were good. It was just boats going back and forth everywhere.
I think I saw you blowing bubbles. What's up with that, man? You threw that on the snap story, blowing bubbles. I was laughing. I was dying.
Yeah, it was a good day.
Grown man blowing bubbles.
I was blowing bubbles, so having no shame doing it. I'll do it again. It was on there and mysteriously disappeared. I'm still trying to figure out.
Yeah, we gotta figure out, because I was trying to clown you. I was trying to save that, really.
Oh, it's actually on my regular Instagram. No shame.
All right,
go look at it if you want. But summer's not over. I feel like we're just in the middle of it.
Yeah.
Lollapalooza's coming up, and we're not gonna have an episode again, episode 12, until after. So this is kind of the final time before it.
Yep.
I don't know if you're going. I'm going Saturday and Sunday for sure. I will be there.
Yeah, I'm gonna try to go Sunday, but
you need to make that happen.
And Lollapalooza was kind of messing up. They were kind of messing around with press passes, but next year.
Next year, right?
Yeah, and then so that's going to be awesome. That's going to be August 3rd through the 6th. So a bunch of people are going to be out.
It's 4 days, man. That's a marathon.
Yeah, it's a long day and it's hot. So
exactly.
That's going to be popping. Chance the Rapper, Future. Who else is going? MGK. Who else is going to be there?
Big Sean's there. Who else? Lil Uzi Vert's there.
Okay.
Wiz is there.
All right.
It's a ton of hip hop. I think Migos is there, of course.
I mean,
21 Savage is there.
Hey, I'm gonna have to say, man, you kind of proved me wrong. I can't believe hip hop is the #1 genre right now in the world.
It wasn't like the top 10, top 5 or 7 like Billboard albums of last week was all hip hop.
It's crazy. So you definitely can tell the new generation is taking over. And then also this weekend there's a couple of cool festivals too. Check out Wicker Park Fest. That's a great time. It'll be a lot of awesome. I love all the restaurants in the Wicker Park area.
Yeah, their food's good out there.
Yeah, it's fire. The Taste of Lincoln Avenue. That's really a good spot too. A lot of good Korean spots up there, as well as other American style restaurants, and the Randolph Street Market Festival. That's going to be popping off too. So this weekend you're gonna have your pick of options to kind of go to.
It's gonna be good weather too.
Oh, it's going to be excellent.
You haven't been to Chicago and you listen out of the Midwest, you need to get here. I'm going to tell you this every single week until you make a trip, and then tell us that you're here and we'll come meet up with you because you need to come check out Chicago.
Yeah.
Make sure you get here this summer.
Now, Brian's a plug, not me, but Brian. So hit him up.
That's you, man. That's you, man. We got some quick hits to get into before we get to the end of the show.
All right.
What we got first?
All right, R.Kelly. Man, what's up with R.Kelly enslaving these grown 18-year-olds?
I got
quote unquote.
Mom from the Joe Budden podcast. He had a great point. He was just saying that he just a pimp, and he said, Mom's crazy though. He's like he didn't see anything wrong with it. He was like they're of age, and he basically he's just a pimp. He's like, how many guys growing up had girls like that? He's just a pimp. I mean, if the bigger thing is these parents letting R. Kelly, these kids go to R. Kelly no matter if they're a teenager, of age or not. What are you thinking? Like, what do you think's gonna happen? And then they come back and they say they're fine. Man, he's just pimping those girls. Yeah, I mean, I want to start off with the fact that shout out to R. Kelly. I'm sort of a fan, but back in the day, I used to see him at that Dunkin' Donuts on Wabash Avenue near the Trump smoking a cigar. He always showed love, so I appreciate that. However, I don't condone his actions whatsoever, and I think that dude, he's 50 years old. What are you doing with 18-year-olds? That's just who he
likes.
It's
like, you know what I mean, like. Even if you're like 30 or something around your 30s, that's still kind of weird because the person's 18, even though they're of age, 18 years old could still mean you're in high school. There's some people who turn 18 in high school. So I just think that, it's what he's doing is odd. And, he his past with Aaliyah, married her when she was 15. They ended up getting it annulled or whatever. And then, the whole peeing incident. That whole debacle when people claimed that wasn't R. Kelly and it was R. Kelly. So it's just like, he has some sick thing in his mind where he finds young women attractive. And if I was anybody that had, a daughter or someone around that age in high school, I would not let them be around R. Kelly at all.
And these parents keep letting him and that's on them. So.
They're willing to pimp their kids for profit or whatever's going on over there.
But they just never see their kids again after. He just keeps them. He's like, these are my chicks now.
Bro, that's weird.
It is so weird. Yeah. But hey, if these girls, that's what they want to do. Like I said, it's just a version of pimping. So,
yeah.
I mean, but the thing is, everyone's still going to listen to R. Kelly music, so what are we complaining about?
There's some people, not me.
Yeah, right. Stepping in Name of Love comes on, you're dancing. Get out of here, man.
All right. Also, the Juice, O.J. Simpson, the Juice.
He's loose.
He's loose. Yes. He's getting out of prison. I think he'll be eligible October 1st to be released.
I can't wait, man. It's always an interesting event when the Juice is out because you never know what he's gonna do next. Like the next couple years, like he's gonna do something.
He's gonna do something stupid to bring him right back to prison. Yeah, because like his whole the parole meeting. I remember we were watching. We were both at work. Had it on the big screen. We did not care because it's OJ.
Yeah, he checked for OJ.
He kept he was so dumb, and his lawyer. They were kind of saying his lawyer was Lionel Hutz from like the Simpsons or whatever. Where he was just like a like a shyster.
Yeah.
The whole time OJ had no he just kept trying to defend his actions. If you're in a parole board, you think after being 9 years in prison, you'll just be like, hey, I'm so sorry for everything I've done. I've disgraced my family, etc., etc. he did nothing of that nature. He kept trying to justify why he did it or why he got himself into that whole situation with like the robbery. And he kept saying, the state of California says that's his stuff. But at the end of the day, it's just like, dude, just like if I was the parole board person, I would have denied it. Me personally.
Nah, that one parole board lady, she was crooning over him, man.
And the guy with the Kansas City Chiefs.
Yeah, they were fans.
Yeah, so they were definitely.
Thought he was getting out, man.
He's still charismatic. Like OJ still has it. So
yeah, the juice, man. I'm all for it, man.
Yeah.
Let the guy out. Just let him come run havoc. Let's just enjoy the entertainment before the juice is gone, man.
Yeah, he's gonna hop on the Kardashian show.
Something, man.
Something.
He's going right there.
Yeah, Courtney gonna be the stat. He gonna be, hey, I'm your papa. Like, watch, it's gonna be a crazy debacle.
Totally.
Yeah,
he's gonna be the next season from there. They probably got that in the works.
Yeah, and for the record, I think he did kill Nicole and Ron, just so people know that OJ guilty as hell, but the juice is the juice.
Hey,
and
the glove didn't fit, man. Hey,
you must have quit.
The glove didn't fit. That's our story. We're sticking to it forever.
Exactly. And then
you like this topic. You were going on Instagram about this.
Man,
we can talk about it briefly though.
Yeah. So this whole Mike Vick thing, he basically went on the I think it was Colin Jason Whitlock. So I think his show. And he basically stated that Colin Kaepernick needs to cut his hair, make himself more presentable. Just because the NFL, he'll be able to get himself back into the NFL essentially. So I think, man, Mike Vick, he was acting like a coon just because he's just like, and I get it's like, dude, you were convicted of messing with dog, fighting, doing pit bull fighting, whatever. Kaepernick taking a knee for people's rights, night and day. He doesn't need to do anything related to his appearance at all. I just think that Mike Vick is trying to, I feel like he's trying to help him out and be like a big homie, but the way he just articulated that, it was just horrible. And I just think that he needs to have a PR person to just kind of filter him out before he comes on a national setting and say that. I want to hear your thoughts.
Michael Vick this is a case of right idea, terrible execution, simply. I get what he's saying, and like you said, he's almost like a big homie for him. Charlemagne on Breakfast Club gave him Donkey of the Day for. Yeah. I don't think what he said was worthy of Donkey of the Day because in the big picture, playing devil's advocate, he's almost telling him all you have to do is change your image and you'll get back into the NFL. And simply just how you look. Like obviously, wearing a fro, it just creates like a different image of you of what it is being in Black America is today. So I think Michael Vick from the other side was trying to play devil's advocate and say, clean up your image, just look a little better. And you'll get more opportunities, and you'll get back in the NFL. Just the way he said it and presented it was terrible, and it just made him look, like you said, like a coon. But I get his message, but horrible delivery, and he got clowned for it pretty bad.
Yeah, so, I mean, Michael Vick, you're borderline on the Cam Newton train. I'm telling you, he's borderline on the Cam Newton train. We about to turn our backs on him, but just next time, just know how to articulate so that you can get your message across.
And he's trying to get a job on that show too. So he's trying to act on like he's awesome and sauce with it, trying to tell him what to do. But hey, Michael Vick, man, that's the guy. You need to let him in the Hall of Fame or something one day. No, you're not a fan.
No,
come on, man. But hey, before we get off of this into some politics, Kevin Hart. Was that him, man?
Man, that was Kevin Hart.
Was that him?
No, I think that was Kevin Hart.
I don't think it was him.
Man, bro, that was Kevin Hart. Like he had the little tiny kind of like Kevin Hart fro and beard, and he was just laughing. Bro, that was Kevin Hart.
I don't know, man. You could say with media takeout how they could distort pictures. No pictures. Why does it look so distorted?
I don't go on media takeout. No. I was looking live on it was TMZ or something like that.
Man, that was a distorted picture. The crazy part, I mean, nothing's came out that it was him. Mm-hmm. It hasn't gone any farther.
But the only thing,
leave him alone.
The only thing that gives me any type of doubt that it was Kevin Hart was that, if you were a guy and you were put in a situation where, you had a side chick or something like that and you had all that money, one, why are you in a Lexus? And two, why is the Lexus not tinted? So that was the part for me that I was like, maybe it isn't him, but then, he just might be an egomaniac where he's like, I'm Kevin Hart and I'm going to do what the hell I want. And no one would ever suspect Kevin Hart of being a white Lexus.
Wasn't he South Beach though? It was somebody's birthday.
I don't know.
It was like a driver next to him. Like, he would never be that reckless. Like, that was not him.
And you just never know. That was probably the plan. Let me be reckless so people wouldn't think that I would actually cheat on my pregnant wife. And then they just end up catching them anyway.
You gotta leave Kevin alone. That wasn't him. He loves his girl, man. You got to let him ride on this one.
Yeah, we'll see how it plays out.
This might be more of the story to come. It's gonna unfold soon.
More will unfold. Even though he did post and said, people are fools, et cetera, et cetera. But I don't know, Kevin. You just might be trying to save face. So
Hell yeah. What's up with our political stuff? You like this part?
Yeah. So the alternative facts political roundup. We're just gonna go through a couple of issues of what happened. Within like the past week. So Sean Spicer, he resigned from his post. Not a surprise. He couldn't handle the pressure. They said that because of Trump, he hired some guy named Anthony, I can't say his last name, Scarlucci or something like that. He has some Italian last name. And essentially, Sean Spicer didn't agree with him, being hired as like the communication director or someone at the White House. So he just ended up leaving. At the end of the day, just another sign that, the Trump administration, a lot of major holes, a lot of people resigning, a lot of people leaving. It is what it is, and no one's going to miss Sean Spicer, and he's just going to fade away. He's going to fade to black. So it was just, I'm not surprised.
Yeah, they're all just starting to go one by one. Who's next to go?
Jeff Sessions. He's another guy. Trump has been tweeting at him recklessly this past week, like literally, like telling him he hasn't been hard on Hillary Clinton in the emails. He didn't go after, some other guy. I think was it Mueller or someone. Why did he recuse himself from like the Russian investigation? Honestly, Trump right now, he's pulling at, any type of strings he can right now to divert himself from the fact that, he's still being investigated and everything that's happening with his son, Jared Kushner. It's a crazy situation, and I think there are going to be plenty more people to resign from his cabinet. I think just like the crazy thing about it right now is we're like a little bit over 100 days in.
Yep, that's what I was, man.
And I felt like it's been 4 years worth of craziness.
Yeah, just undoing of everything that we've done in about 100 days. I was talking to Kevin a little bit ago before we got started. I was like, man, he's done this in 100 days. Like, imagine in 4 years, it's basically going to be an entirely different country.
Bro, it's going to be a wasteland.
Yeah, there's no way. I feel like there's no way he's going to make it 4 years with the moves he's making. Nah. Everyone's resigning, quitting on him, firing. It's just a mess. And then this morning he tweeted that, with the military, they're going to stop denying transgenders not allow transgenders.
Not allow transgenders, into the military or something of that nature because, they're on the government's insurance and, they're going through all these procedures in order for them to, convert to, whatever, to a female,
right,
or, female
right,
to male. And, they said these procedures cost, about over $100,000 per person. So, with that being said, is that okay for him to do that? No, it's ridiculous. He tweeted out plenty of times that, he's going to support, that whole community, and he has not followed up on any of his promises. I hate politics.
Of course not.
In general, I just absolutely hate it. And you can go back and pull up everyone's old tweets. People go back and forth. They never say that they never do what they say they're going to do.
Right.
And Trump proves people once again why. Come in 2020, if there's a good candidate out there, I think they'll be
The Rock, man. Let's go,
man. The Brahma Bull, we need you.
We need you, man. Deliver that people's elbow. Yeah. And now we got somebody on Instagram Live. I think what's his name, the Renaissance Man or something like that, was saying it's just all a distraction from his healthcare bill that he's trying to pass, and it could be he could be up to something that's distracting us from something big.
No, it's definitely the healthcare, but I think it's definitely something going on with that investigation, man. It's too many for it to be something that is still lingering after 6-7+ months. Something's up. So I just think that they're just building that RICO case, and they're going to try to take down a bunch of people because if you're trying to take someone down of that position, you better do your homework, you better have your evidence, and it better be, Ziploc sealed and ready to go in order to take him out. So, because he's Teflon Don.
Absolutely.
I keep telling people that if you're going to go hard, you can't miss the shot.
They'll get him out. Another comment that Renaissance Man had over there for, he said, how can you not like Vic? He started being the first dual threat quarterback, and he was. Remember on the Madden games when he played Mike Vick, he was
he's unstoppable. I would always just have everybody go deep and just tuck the ball and just run. Yeah,
you can never catch him. Yeah.
I mean, Vick is cool. I just don't like the fact that now he's not playing football. he's trying to just be on like some Jason Whitlock type of stuff, and that's not cool. Like, you're supposed to be bigging up Kaepernick and supporting him, but I think a guy in his position, he needs the money because he lost a lot of money and he had to pay off a lot of debt, and I just think that he's in a position where he want to preserve his income moving forward, because I don't think Vic is good with money. So, it's one of those things where...
Needs a job, bro.
Yeah, he's just doing what he has to do, but, at the sake of tearing down another African-American male who's trying to do good in the world.
You sound on like a goody over there, man.
Man, I'm trying.
It's all good. He's just trying to coach the young gun, man.
Yeah.
He can take his advice, just better execution before he does it next time.
Absolutely.
His thought process was there.
Oh, horrible.
Man, before we get into Clown of the Week, because I'm definitely getting down with Trump the Clown of the Week. He should get Clown of the Year for everything that he's doing. He deserved it today.
Yeah.
But what did he do today, obviously, with, banning transgender from serving in the military or something like that? And I want to read like a little quote that he had, and I was like, what? It actually made no sense. He says, after consultation with my generals and military experts, please be advised that the United States government will not accept or allow transgender individuals to serve in any capacity in the U.S. military. Our military must be focused on decisive and overwhelming victory and cannot be burdened with the tremendous medical costs and disruption that transgender in the military would entail. Like, what is he talking about? Like, that sounds so bad, just that your president has the nerve to say that. It's just embarrassing, and it seemed like there's been a lot of protests out in Chicago. I'm sure probably all around nationally right now. Like, what is this guy doing? It sounds like it's a distraction, but at the end of the day, it's just flat out wrong. It makes people like, who can actually like that type of person that's running our country and just say, yeah, he's the representative of who we have. It's bad, it's embarrassing, and it kind of hurts. I'm sure it hurts a lot of people. Like, just, you really gonna ban that? It said it may take a while for it to come into practice. It may not even get signed eventually, but even his thoughts of him wanting to do that, it's embarrassing, man. What's your thoughts on that?
Yeah, I mean, he's a clown, and I mean, once again, he's being the most divisive person in U.S. history, and I think right now tensions are high amongst every single group
right
in America. So I just think that, I hope that, and for me, it's beyond political. Like, look past party. We're talking about human life. We're talking about compassion. And, there's a lack of that going on there. So for me, I can't get down with anyone regardless of what your political views is, when you just don't care about human beings, or nor do you care about the impact it's going to have on people's lives, not for the present, but for the future. For the future.
Oh, yeah.
So I think Trump is he deserves the Clown of the Week, and he'll get it every other week, and he'll get it for the year, and he'll get it for the next 10 years, and he's going to go down as being one of the worst presidents ever. He's just a blowhole.
Oh yeah, he's just doing it all for his own agenda. He doesn't care about the people. He doesn't care about pretty much anyone. He's going to steamroll and roll over anyone and everyone that he can, so he accomplishes everything.
Yeah, I know. And I feel bad for the Republican Party from the sense, not like, just from the overall sense, where I don't think everyone is kind of shifty.
Right.
But, the ones who are supporting him, obviously, they care about their jobs and they have their family to feed, and they're trying to advance their careers and all that. And that doesn't make it right whatsoever. But I think that party is going to, there's going to be a huge reverberation on generations to come.
Oh, yeah.
And I think after the Trump, they're going to have to just totally break everything down and rebuild it up again, if people are ever going to kind of back them. It's nuts. It's beyond politics now.
Yeah, it's like getting personal.
Yeah.
It's just like, what do you morally believe in at this point?
Yeah,
so,
this is morals, 100%.
For that, Donald Trump, you're getting the Clown of the Week.
Yep.
And you might just end up with being Clown of the Year by the end of 2017. You probably already have it, but there's still more time to go, man.
Yeah.
Who do you got this week, D?
All right, man, this kills me. All right, so this is my guy right here. I listen to all his albums. I grew up listening to his music, but it's my guy Usher, a.k.a. Usher.
Usher? No, you can't do this.
Yeah, man, Usher.
No, you can't. You gotta let this
Yes,
no,
man, I can't. No, man, this whole herpes scandal is nuts. So Usher, he is being sued for $10 million by a woman who says he exposed her to the virus, like herpes. Herpes never leaves, never goes away. And this woman, claims that, she had a couple of sexual encounters with Usher, back in April, and, she did all this crazy stuff. And then after that, boom, she found that she has herpes. And then, this past week, that same woman who's accusing Usher of, getting herpes saw that, he settled the suit back in 2012. And mind you, it's 2017. 2012 for $1.1 million. He settled this suit after allegedly spreading herpes to an unnamed ex. And this is like illegal. This is an illegal court document.
Right. So,
Usher, dog, what are you doing going around having unprotected sex with groupies? You've been in the game for so long. You understand, you just know the game. And you know that you have to be extra safe, especially when you're a celebrity. And the fact that you're going around knowingly going in without a condom and having sexual intercourse with a woman without her knowing what your status is, man, that's jail time right there. Like seriously, someone should be able to go to jail. Man, bro, herpes never goes anywhere. It affects your life forever. Your partner that you might marry or you might want to have kids with, they're going to be exposed to that one way or another if you want to have kids. Unless you can have kids in another route, which you probably can, but it's come on, bro.
What if he didn't know?
Usher knew, bro.
What if he settled
the suit?
Well, now, but obviously he found out now, but back then, because what's gonna happen is now all these other girls that he might have hooked up with unprotected are just gonna come start making up stuff. They all got herpes. They probably don't have it. They're gonna try to get that bag too.
Man,
they're coming for it.
I'm saying this right now. I'm tired of us giving all these people passes just because they make good music. And by the way, Usher hasn't made good music for a while now. But I'm just tired of giving these artists all these passes because they make good music. Nah, bro. If you're just going around giving women herpes and you're not strapping up and you're going around and that's lame and that deserves the clown of the week. Usher, you're my guy. You're not my guy like that anymore. You're half my guy.
Nah,
if he comes back with another hit, I might betray my moral thoughts and actually listen and enjoy the song. But until then, you're getting the clown of the week, Usher. Peace, bye.
Nah.
We don't believe you.
Usher, if you come to Chicago, hit me up. And I'll hang out with you. You're my guy. Don't listen about
it. I bet if he has a sore in his mouth, you won't drink after him either.
Probably not. But, I mess with Usher. He's a legend in the game, so you got to back off the guy.
All right.
He'll be all right.
He's kind of the week.
For sure. But, man, episode 11 in the books. Reminder, episode 12. Coming up on Wednesday, August 9th, we will be recording. We're going to have Nate Duhon of Married at First Sight. I know their season finale is coming up, tomorrow night on Thursday?
Our first celebrity.
Our first
reality
TV celebrity. Yeah. So it's a big deal for us. So make sure you tune in for that. We'll definitely do some promo on all of our social media coming up as well, too. Where can you find us on all our social media? I normally do it, but I'm going to put Bobby to the test and see if he can run off every social media place you can find.
Check us out. Check us out on Facebook, Alternative Facts Chicago. Check us out on Instagram, Alternative Facts Chicago. Hit us up on Twitter, AFacts Chicago. If you want to find us on YouTube, type in the search Alternative Facts Chicago podcast. We got all our podcasts up on YouTube. Hit us up on SoundCloud, Alternative Facts Chicago. Super simple. iTunes, Alternative Facts Chicago podcast. Please subscribe. Please leave reviews. We're at 181 right now. I'm trying to get 200 before the end of this month. So please subscribe and review on iTunes.
Still in them rankings. I saw we were ranked last week for iTunes Comedy.
Yeah, because our iTunes is lit and we're nice. We're good. We're coming for every single one of those guys. And on top of that, we're on Google Play for all you guys with those crappy Android phones. Yeah. Find us on Google Play, Alternative Facts Chicago podcast. We're lit.
You nailed that. So coming up soon, we got a lot more coming up. I'll be at Lollapalooza, I think Saturday and Sunday. So if you're out, we may have some stickers around. See Alternative Facts Chicago. Anything else coming up before then? I know we got. I'm gonna be in Tampa. Actually, I'm gonna be in your hood, going down to Tampa for a couple of days. So.
Oh, nice.
Man, I love Tampa. Tampa. That's like my third home after Chicago and Detroit.
Yeah, Tampa's a good city. That's my city. I love Tampa, even though people think I'm over there turning my back on it.
Yeah.
I still love Tampa, people. Just to put that out there. Yeah. I'm a Bucks fan. I'm a Rays fan. I like the Lightning, but I live in Chicago. I pay taxes here, and I'm going to root for the home, for my home team here.
People were trying to try
on Twitter. It's crazy.
It's crazy.
So hey, watch your back when you go out there, man. I'm going to call my guy to pick you up from the airport.
It's like that. What'd you do out there? You're like, man, you can't touch down back in Tampa anymore. Get out of here.
No, never.
Nah, good deal, man. Yeah. So it's been episode 11. I think it was a good one, man. We got our mojo. We got the flow of this going very well. It's been crazy to see, the growth that we've had since February. And, man, episode 11? bunch more to come.
Sponsors. I know that we have a lot brewing with some pretty major sponsors. We can't talk about it yet until that ink is dry, but we have a lot of stuff going on. So I'm just happy that 11 episodes in, that we've grown so much. So we're gonna keep it up. Hopefully we'll be able to do it weekly, and and there'll be more Alternative Fact Chicago podcast.
Episode 11. We're out. This is Duhon with Bobby.